Hello, everybody, and welcome on into Prop Culture. It is week 16. I'm Thomas Viola, and of course, it is Carty o'clock. He's Derek Carty, and we are here to talk more NFL proppy goodness for you for the weekend ahead. It's a great slate, and I'll tell you the sneak preview here as we get into the show. Last week, not a ton that we had on the docket last week. This week, oh boy. We have a whole bevy of props to get into. It is going to be a great show. What is up, everybody? Great to see y'all in here. We got Shiny Fish. Oh man, we got everybody in here. We got the whole crew in here. What's the Matas here? Grateful Futures. Jennifer's here. Yahtzee, Nick Porto, Brooke, KGB, Russians here. Oh, man, it is great to see everybody in the chat. And Derek, it is great to see you too, my friend. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm not as sick as I was the last couple weeks, so I'm feeling pretty good.
It feels good. We're getting healthy again. We're ready for the home stretch here. We got the holidays. We got the holidays coming up. It is a great time. And we won money last week. We were up 0.15 units on the week from last week's props.
After the previous 3 weeks, I will definitely take a break-even / slight profit week for sure.
Absolutely. And by the way, shout out on the Connor Hayward prop. I had him first touchdown. That felt really nice.
First touchdown too. That's awesome. Yeah, that was the blitz was all over that one. That was a fun one.
Yeah, that was absolutely great. And last night's game, wow, just an insane game. I didn't have much in that one. I think I had Kenneth Walker over his running over his carries, which did not work out. But hey, is what it is. All right, we are here to make some money. Oh man, whole bunch to get to, Derek. I'm ready to jump into it. I think we should get right to it here so that we can get the people what they want. Let's get started here. We're going to be going to our first play on the board, and we are going to be hitting that Marvin Mims.
Yep, we are looking at Marvin Mims under 1.5 receptions, plus 127 at DraftKings is our best number on the board. But, you can see 5 stars all the way down to plus 110. So pretty much anywhere you get it, it's going to be a very good play. Mims has been kind of, it seems like, falling out of favor in Denver a little bit of late. His routes and targets have been going down the last few weeks. Last week especially, he only ran a route on like 30% of dropbacks, while Lil Jordan Humphrey ran one on like 70% or something crazy. And that was with Pat Bryant out of the game last week. So with Bryant back this week, it's just this crowded wide receiver room where it doesn't seem like Mims is one of the featured guys anymore. So the under here looks pretty good to me.
Yeah, it's 1.5 receptions and 1.5 receptions, like you said. Lots going on in this game. A lot of targets to spread the ball around too. Definitely with you on this one. By the way, shout out to the people in the chat saying, pointing out last week Phillip Rivers didn't do bad at all. We cashed on some of those props.
I hit some Phillip Rivers overs last week. That was nice.
Mm-hmm. And I know for a fact, as Yahtzee points out here for Mims, Sean Payton is a madman with his usage. It is true.
He is. You never know. I mean, Mims could go out and play every single snap, and it wouldn't surprise me. But it's there's enough variation with what he does that I think we're looking at. We're getting our money in pretty good here.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to agree with you there. All right, next up here, this one scares me a little bit just because of how things have been going, especially last week. But we're switching over to Tampa Bay, and we're going to Jaylen McMillan, and you're still looking at that under 1.5 receptions. Jesse Shule in the chat. Jesse saying, can't wait for Raiders Texans. Oh, don't worry. The chat is already waiting, but they know who's back this week. They know who's back in the fold, and
we may or may not have a prop for our favorite quarterback this week. We'll have to see. But now, we're looking at Jaylen McMillan under 1.5 receptions. Plus 140 at FanDuel, ESPN, and 365 is our best line. This one's a little scary because McMillan comes with pedigree, is a good receiver. There was talk this week of the coaches saying, "Oh, we're going to try to get his we're going to try to boost his role, get him involved a little bit more." I have a hard time seeing that happening. Just you look at who else is on the roster. And it's like, well, where is extra usage going to come from for this guy? They already we're only having Mike Evans last week was out there on, I think, let me see, like only 70% of the routes. Egbuka was out there on only like 60% of the routes. Cade Otton is healthy again. They let Tez Johnson play a little bit last week. Like where is it going to come from? So I'm having a hard time projecting McMillan for much more than this. And so he looks like a value. It's scary. I mean, he could just go off because he is good. And they could be like, all right, well, Egbuka, you're going to take a back seat this week or something crazy like that. But I'll take it at plus 140.
The key factor here that you're not accounting for is I have Egbuka on my fantasy team in the playoffs this week, which means we're in for a Jaylen McMillan masterclass 10 reception, 150-yard, 2-tutty performance, guaranteed. Jeez. Yeah. So bet this one at your own risk, people, because that is absolutely happening. Bet Egbuka unders this week. That is your wise play. All right. Next up, I don't know if you saw this last week. He got hurt in the game, stayed in. Jaylen Naylor, absolutely hilarious. Jordan Addison hitting him with the battlefield stim revive while he was actually down and hurt. It wasn't an end zone celebration, but Jaylen Naylor, we're looking at his under receptions as well.
Yep, under 1.5. Also plus 140 is our best line here. It's just one of these situations where like the math kind of works out on it. The blitz is projecting 1.7, which when you do the distribution math works out to about a 50-50 play. Against the Giants, there's a decent chance that, especially with McCarthy looking better the last couple of weeks, that they'll be playing from ahead and won't have to throw that much. And Naylor's like the fourth or fifth option in this offense. So at plus odds, at close to a coin flip, I will take it.
Yeah. As Russian 05 points out, I'd rather he get 10 perceptions than 2 anyway. Feels better that way. Yeah. If I'm going to lose a bet, I'd rather not have it even be close than just be sweating it out till the end and getting that heartbreak. I agree. All right. Jaylen Warren is next up for us here. Oh, I am still heated about the fact that we didn't hit his over carries last week. He got hurt in that game, didn't he?
I think he did. Yeah.
Yeah. Brutal beat, but hey. We come back here.
So Jaylen Warren, we're looking at his over 2.5 receptions plus 145 is our best number on the board. All the hype has been around Kenneth Gainwell and his usage in the pass game for Pittsburgh, but Jaylen Warren is still plenty involved in the pass game. And I know the Blitz really likes Pittsburgh passing stuff this week. There will be a couple more that we'll talk about as we go through the show. But Pittsburgh passing stuff looks good. It's going to be a fast-paced game. They're going indoors into Detroit. This game looks good to me.
Yeah, this should be a very nice passing game. I mean, we know Kenneth Gainwell is going to be in there and getting some of those receptions, but Aaron Rodgers does like to check down to his running backs, and Warren has hit the over on this prop a couple times this season. Not that that's the way that you want to handicap it, but anecdotally, I've definitely... Yeah, we've definitely cashed on this before this season already. I'm sure of that. Yeah, all right. Yeah. Next up, we're staying with that Pittsburgh passing attack. And boy, we are blazing through. I am blazing us through these right now. We'll slow it down a little bit if the people want it. But we've got our ladder prop to get to here because we are going to the man who leads the league, as Ian Hart has pointed out, leads the league in most fun per reception. That is Darnell Washington, the hefty tight end.
It is most fun per reception. I mean, he's just great. You love watching him. We're going over 2.5 plus 102 at FanDuel is our best line. And then I also want to hit the over 3.5. You guys look around at the alts at different books. Tell me what the best line you can find. But the best that I could find was plus 250 at FanDuel for over 3.5. So we will hit both the 2.5 and the 3.5 as official plays. We've talked about Pittsburgh tight ends a lot on this show, I feel like, and the way they tend to use them. And this week sets up as very much a Darnell Washington week where we've talked about, okay, they'll use Freiermuth more against zone defenses. They'll use Freiermuth more against 3-4 defenses because they don't have, the big stocky defensive ends in there that are going to overpower him because he's like a smaller tight end. And then they'll do the opposite with Washington where they'll use him more against man coverage, more against, big fronts, 4-3 defenses, that kind of thing. And so facing Detroit this week, one of the most man-heavy teams in football, big 4-3 defense. This sets up very much as a Darnell Washington usage week. And again, the blitz really likes Pittsburgh in general here.
Oh, man, he is such a big boy. By the way, second in most fun per reception has to be Isaac Tesla. No question about that.
Sure.
Yeah. But
what does he have, a touchdown on like 3/4 of his catches?
Seriously, it's something insane like that. I've had him on my fantasy bench the whole year. I'm just hoping for that breakout next season in Dynasty so that I can just start using him full time. But he is so much fun. Jeff Rappaport wants to know Washington yards also good? ? If we're taking the latter, I'm sure it is.
Yeah. Yep. 23.5 looks like is at most books. Definitely fine to take the yards as well if you want.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now we have to talk about a show favorite, and it's not Gino Smith. We're going to Samaje Perine, but Derek, you're about to break my heart, aren't you?
Well, at least it's not his receiving yards.
Exactly. That is our bread, and that was our all-time play last season was Perine receiving yards. His rushing market, I was honestly shocked the number is this high at 37.5.
It's a big number. Like, they're willing to use him on the ground, but 37.5 is a big number for a guy who is the very clear number 2 here. This game projects as by far the slowest paced game of the week. So just total play volume in general should be down because both of these teams play so slow. You can see the blitz here is projecting about 27. So we're getting some good value on this one.
Yeah. Nick Porto in the chat saying agreed 37.5 seems ridiculous. I'm very inclined to agree with that as well. I'll be on it too. But man, this Miami-Cincy game, this is the unwatchable this week.
Yeah, it is not going to be a fun one.
No, that is going to be a horrible game. Credit to Mike McDaniel, though. The fact that he has not been fired yet this season is a very big testament to the coaching job that he's put together. Are they making the playoffs? No. Is he probably done at the end of the year? Yes. But he didn't get fired in season, and he was the favorite for it. That's really, really says something. As Russian05 says, I'm a Fins fan, so I won't watch it. Buddy, I'm about to watch Brady Cook play the Saints this week, and I'm going to watch every second of it. You are simply not on the same level of mental illness as me, my friend. All right.
Well, you're going to have something to root for with Brady Cook besides just Jets, because why don't we do him next? We'll switch up the next two.
Let's do it. Let's go to Brady Cook in the other unwatchable game this week. But at least this one has this one has an actual meeting to it in terms of the tankathon. Because let's face it, Dolphins Cincy not really getting the juices going for that number 1 pick. But this is a game that matters for that top 5 draft position.
It does. So we're looking at Brady Cook over 16.5 at even money is our best line at a few different books. You can see the blitz here is projecting close to 19. So like 2.5 over the line here. Brady Cook is probably not very good, but we've done these types of plays a lot over the years where you find a bad quarterback and you see the market set their line too low because bad quarterbacks are never as bad as people want to believe they are. And we hit the over, and it works out a lot of times. Helps out that this game, they're going into a dome in New Orleans. They're playing a very fast-paced offense in New Orleans. So good pace-up spot. Give me some Brady Cook.
Another big thing to watch out for with him is the fact that he absolutely is not taking the I'm going to be real conservative with the football approach. He very clearly said, I don't know how many snaps I'm going to take in the NFL. I'm slinging it.
Yeah.
And
which I'm totally here for.
Yeah, we are fine with that. And Aaron Glenn is going to let him do it because honestly, expert tank maneuver by Aaron Glenn announcing Brady Cook was going to be the starter and not, Tyrod or Justin might be back from injury and we'll put them in. He was like, no, Cook's the starter. We're not here to win games right now. We've won enough of those. I respect it. Go get Mendoza. Go start this. Go start the whole process over. I'm liking what Glenn is putting together for this team. Anyway, I think it's time. We have to talk about our favorite player and our favorite prop. It is Gino Smith. We are not going to the interceptions market, though, but we are betting on Gino Smith to make things happen with the football, Derek. What are we doing?
Gino Smith over 19.5 completions, even money. We're banking on Gino here. We are. Yep. Oh boy, here we go. As gross as it is, you can see the blitz is projecting like 4 completions over the number. Even though Gino is not very good anymore, we're doing it. We're doing it. The math says Gino, and I'm going with Gino.
Insert office no meme here. Oh, man. And Bud Zitkeson, we lost the tank before and got Wilson over Lawrence. This time we do it the right way. Exactly. Although really what we have to focus on, Giants need to lose to the Raiders next week, get the number 1 overall pick, trade that to the Jets. That's how we make this happen. That's the most realistic outcome. You just have to be able to leapfrog the Raiders because I don't know what's going to happen with Las Vegas. I don't know what this team is going to do in the offseason. If Pete Carroll's going to say, look, I'm old as dirt. I don't have that much time left. I'm not training up a rookie quarterback. We're riding with Gino and seeing if maybe we can get someone other than 5 revolving doors at offensive line. Maybe that's the route they take. But anyway, that's my draft analysis. Andre's saying the math says Gino. Gino says, what's math? That's very fair. Russian, I just put 10 units on Gino. Stop. And Yahtzee says, is the AG the coach next year for the Jets? Yes, absolutely. They just gave out an extension to Conklin, or Ruckert. Like, this regime's there. They're not firing them after 1 year. Anyway, back to the props. That's our Gino Smith prop. I'm going to have to clip this to send to my dad because every week he texts me about how dumb I am for betting the Gino Smith props. But let's
probably not wrong, but like you just can't stop at this point. Like we're on this ship. We're going down with it.
We're in too deep. All right. Speaking of in too deep, Aaron Rodgers, the conspiracy madman himself. We are going to his passing market this week. Where are we looking with Rodgers versus Detroit? And I like this one a lot. This should be a shootout.
Yeah, so we're looking at Rodgers over 32.5 attempts, -103. We'll call our best line here. But you can see, I think every single line is a 5-star play, even up to like this crazy 33.5 on DK pick 6. So the blitz is projecting 39, which is quite a bit, if you know math, is quite a bit above 32.5. It's actually a lot above 32.5. The blitz sees this as a fast-paced game. It sees Pittsburgh throwing the ball more, going indoors. They're going to have to be playing from behind against Detroit. Aaron Rodgers hopefully should be throwing the ball a lot here. And so, yeah, pretty much all of his markets project well, but the attempts projected the best. So that's the one we'll go with. But if you only have access to like completions or yards or whatever, like that's fine too.
Yeah. Russian says I'd rather bet on Gino than Aaron, but we're not even really betting on Aaron. We're not betting on him to complete the passes. We're just betting on him to have to throw the ball.
He just has to throw them and complete enough of them to be able to keep it going.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's more a fate of the Steelers defense than anything, which is not going to have TJ Watt because for some reason NFL players stick needles in their lungs. That's an interesting strategy. Didn't work out for Tyrod. Didn't work out for TJ. Maybe we'll stop one day.
Yeah, maybe.
It is kind of wild how many just absolute hacks, like just fake medicine that goes on with these prime specimen professional athletes. Like you were supposed to be the peak of physical health and physical fitness. And then you're out here doing what to yourself? Make it make sense. I do not understand.
Yeah, no, I don't either. So this, there's people asking about parlays in the chat, Grateful Futures. So this is our, I think, third Pittsburgh prop. So you can definitely think about parlaying some of the Pittsburgh stuff together if you want, make sure you're getting the right odds on it, but definitely viable to do that.
Yeah, just be careful. Like you want to be, you want to be making sure that they're not baking too much correlation in because, right. Obviously we're not going to get the straight math, but you're going to get like if it's minus 110 for one prop and it's plus 130 for two, you're not getting the right math there. But just be cognizant of that. But you guys know that already. All right. We have concluded the bulk of our props here. We've concluded most of them. We have now our touchdown bouquet. We have 3 players for touchdowns this week. And I don't know if I can tell you which team any of them are on, except I'm pretty sure one of them's a Raven. Let's get it started with Tanner Hudson. What team does Tanner Hudson play for?
Tanner Hudson plays for the Cincinnati Bengals. You know what? We're not going to do him because this one is contingent upon T. Higgins playing or T. Higgins not playing. And the most recent news, which I didn't account for yet, says that T. Higgins might actually play. So we're gonna hold off on this one. If you want to try to hit it, you can. But I think if T. Higgins plays, this one becomes significantly less viable. We've seen in the past, we saw last week with T. Higgins off the field, Mike Gesicki tends to play out wide a little bit more. We saw Tanner Hudson snaps in line go up last week as a result. But if Higgins is back, then I'm less interested in this. So we're actually going to hold off on this one.
Okay, so yeah, stay tuned to the news on that one. Know that you should take it if T. Higgins is out. Play at your own risk if he is in. We're going to move on to Cedric Tillman, who is a Brown.
Yes, he is. Cedric Tillman is a Brown. We're going to hit him at plus 1,400 at FanDuel and DraftKings, and is our best line right here. You can see the blitz is not projecting him for a high chance to score, but enough of a chance at the odds to make it worthwhile. Cedric Tillman came back from injury last week and did not play very much. I think he was only out there for let's see if I can find the number. It was not a lot. It was for 2%. He ran a route on 2% of the dropbacks. He played 10% of the snaps. I'm hoping / guessing / thinking that was just because he was coming back from injury, because before the injury, he was like the number 3 option in this offense. And I think there's enough of a chance that he goes back to being that number 3 option in the offense to make this worthwhile at this price. Because if he's the number 3 option here, plus 1,400 is a crazy number.
Yeah, that is a lot. I mean, you are also dealing with the fact that Shadur Sanders is your quarterback. That's a little scary.
True, but he did just throw for like 400 yards and 3 touchdowns a couple weeks ago. So
yeah, cruised over his numbers, which we have been betting.
Yes.
All right. Last guy up, and then you guys know the drill. We will open the floor to all your questions. Chat seems pretty lively today. I feel like we've got everybody in there. So I'm thinking that we're going to have quite a few questions to get to. I'm looking forward to it. But first, let us go to the Ravens and Devin Duvernay.
He is not on the Ravens anymore. He is on Chicago.
Oh, man. I was incorrect.
He was on the Ravens for a little while, but he's on Chicago now, who is just dealing with all sorts of injuries. Roma Dunze's out. Luther Burden is out. Duvernay is going to be the number 3 receiver for them this week at plus 1,000, 10-1. The blitz is seeing a little bit of value here. Like, he should see the field. This should be, a guy that has a decent enough shot to score a touchdown.
Yeah. And hey, you can only be so wrong at 10-1. I mean, $20 is going to win you 200. That's not a bad deal at all.
Yeah.
I'll take that deal. And it satisfies Russian's criteria, because he was like, we need some Saturday action. Let's find a play or two. So there you go. You got Devin Duvernay up on Saturday in that Green Bay Chicago game. That should be a fun one. We're going to get to our recap in just a minute. Guys, start throwing your questions in. But before we do that, what's your game sheet saying for this Green Bay Chicago game? Because this one is a little bit befuddling. You got Green Bay, who typically owns the Bears, but no longer has Micah Parsons, and the Bears have not looked bad this season, to say the least. This should much more exciting game than maybe we thought going into the season here.
Yeah. So I'm looking here. It looks like I can probably share the screen, actually.
Budzinski wants a Phillip Rivers touchdown. Oh, could you imagine Phillip Rivers on the scramble?
Oh my God, that would be amazing. I think he's like plus 200 to like get a single yard on the ground.
I think that's a good point.
Yeah, so it looks like here, the Bears are favored, and the Blitz thinks Green Bay should be favored. So there's actually a decent amount of value on Green Bay, it looks like.
I may take that.
Yeah, like that's kind of surprising that the Bears are favored over. I know they're at home here, but still.
Like I lean Green Bay, and now I have justification for my lean. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I kind of do too.
Yeah. All right. There you go. We might be giving out a side on the show for a minute here. All right. Real quick, we'll also get to one question. Cole Kmet's touchdown. We're already on the subject of the Bears and all that. So let's do that. Then I'll do the recap. Then we'll get to everybody else's questions because everybody is already throwing some stuff in. We love to see it. Thank you guys so much. Keep piling them in. We will get to each and every one of you. Y'all know that. Cole Kmet touchdown. Any value?
Does not look like it. He's one that does pop up as having value in the Blitz from time to time, but it doesn't look like it's seeing a whole lot at this number.
Alas, no luck for you here, John, but hey, we'll find some other stuff for you. All right, I'm going to grab the recap real quick. Let's talk about it. We got Marvin Mims under 1.5 receptions plus 127. Jaylen McMillan under 1.5 receptions plus 140 at FanDuel 365. And the score, Derek, the score, not ESPN bet. Jaylen Naylor under 1.5 receptions plus 140 at Bet 365. Jaylen Warren over 2.5 receptions plus 145 at MGM. Darnell Washington climbing the ladder here. We got 2.5 receptions at plus 102 at FanDuel, but we got 3.5 receptions at plus 250 also at FanDuel, and we are going to try and ladder those. Samaje Perine, we're going to his under rushing yards. 37.5 is the number. We're saying he doesn't get there. Minus 109, best odds at DraftKings. Gino Smith over 19.5 completions, even money at 365. Brady Cook over 16.5. We are betting on those garbage quarterbacks that we love. We got Aaron Rodgers over 32.5 pass attempts at minus 103. Best odds there with Phillip Rivers. Tanner Hudson over half a touchdown at 9-1. We have scratched that from our plays. Keep in mind, T. Higgins is in. Play at your own risk. If he's out, go ahead and take that. But I make these graphics before we get on the show and didn't have time to update it while we were live. Cedric Tillman over half a touchdown, 14-1 at FanDuel and DraftKings. And Devin Duvernay rounds us off. I couldn't fit them all on 2 sheets. Duvernay gets his own over half a touchdown, 10-1 at FanDuel, DraftKings, and Hard Rock. Line shop around. Make sure you get the best price. But for now, let us open the floor for questions. Nick says, not football related. You are banned. Banned from the chat, my friend. You're done.
No, baseball is allowed. It's hot stove season. We can talk baseball a little bit. Shane Buzz is actually decent, I think. He's got good stuff. I don't dislike the move.
I mean, they have the bats, that's for sure. Their plan is just to outscore everybody.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Bruh KGB is first up on the list here. He wants to know about Kirk Cousins passing yards. Might have steamed a little while ago since Drake London is going to play in this game. By the way, interesting tiebreaker here. The Falcons can win out, tie for first place in the NFC South. They cannot make the playoffs, but doing so would screw Tampa out of the playoffs and put Carolina in if all 3 teams tied.
Interesting.
Yes, very interesting tiebreaker scenario.
That would be fun. It looks like we have some value on Kirk Cousins. The Blitz is projecting 260. Lines are around between 225 and 230, depending where you're looking. This game I know projects as the fastest paced game of the week. I know the Blitz just likes the overall offensive scoring environment here. So yeah, I'm okay with some Cousins overs.
Yeah, I don't mind it at all. Lord knows he likes to sling it. How about Goff pass yards in a high-scoring environment? I would imagine that we're going to be on this over as well.
I would think so. I know the the blitz in general likes this game. Yep, not quite as much value as on Cousins, but definitely some value here on some Goff over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely feel comfortable playing that. All right. Yahtzee's got the real question for us here. Yahtzee wants to know, what's the Blitz's view on Quinn Ewers? Man, I'm better than Zach Wilson. That's what we've learned.
I am waiting for books to drop lines. Unless I've missed it, I don't think there's any lines available for Ewers. But I'm waiting because I think he's going to be one of these gross quarterbacks that we're going to want to hit the over on. So I'm waiting for it to happen. If anyone sees Ewers lines start popping up, let me know. The Blitz doesn't think he's great by any means, but it probably thinks he's better than the market will think, as is often the case with these bad bad backup quarterbacks.
Yeah, we will have to see. I've got to play Jalen Waddle in a fantasy league, and I'm like, I don't want to at all. This is going to be nasty. All right, Rabbi in Lou. I remember, man. I remember that you're in Louisville and you're a rabbi. What is your happy Hanukkah, by the way? What is your break-even point on Perine? It was gone as soon as you mentioned it. Best is -109 at DK. So yeah, let's revisit that Perine take real quick.
So the Blitz was projecting about 28 yards on Perine. Let me see, I can pull him up on here. Perine rushing yards. All right. So yeah, the lines have surely moved. This was, I think, where we got in at 37.5 -109. Blitz is projecting like 10 to 15 yards under the implied projection. So I think you're probably fine. Like, oh wow, actually, so no Vig, is this right? 37.5 at -199. If you're having to pay a price like that, you're probably not in on it. I can say that the Blitz's theoretical break even on 37.5 is -263, but I don't think you should have to do that. I'd much rather take a 36.5 or a 35.5 or a 34.5 at -110 than the 37.5 at like -200.
Yeah, you bet. Yeah, the way you think about those price differences to yard differences is if I have a line at 36.5 at -120 versus a 37.5 at -140, you're paying 20 cents to buy a yard and a half, essentially, something like, or 2 yards, whatever it is. I'm making these numbers up as I go. That's always how you want to think about it. And you need to think, okay, what is the value of this yard? What is the value of this half yard? And is it worth the money that I'm spending there? It's the same thing. And those are different for rushing, receiving, passing yards. Like one passing yard is not worth as much as one rushing yard. And it also compounds when you have really small numbers versus larger numbers. Like, again, 300 passing yards versus 14 versus 13 rushing yards is a lot bigger of a deal than 300 versus 301 passing yards. But again, I'm not bringing up anything really particularly new here. Grateful Future says, I swear I say this every week and you do. Pickens had a terrible week. He's only projected about 65 yards. Is there value?
Let's take a look. I know I prefer Pickens and the Blitz prefers Pickens when he's facing man coverage and he's facing a very zone heavy team this week. There is actually some value on his over. Wow. Actually some decent value on his over, depending on where you can get in at. So yeah. All right. Even considering that it's not a man defense, it still likes him. So yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah, there you go. We got some Pickens love here on the show today. Brooke AGB says Pierce, Indy. Nice call. Over 19.5 receiving yards. Kind of like it. I feel like we were on him last week and he disappointed us. Again, not that matters, but 19.5 feels low-ish given what we know about Phillip Rivers' competence.
Yes. So I actually like this one a lot. The problem is it's not widely available. This would have been a show play. I probably would have done his receptions, but either one, the receptions or the yards. But I try to make sure it's available at least at like one of like FanDuel, Caesars, DraftKings for people who are limited. But if you have access to any of these books and you have access to this prop, I love it. I think this is a great one.
Yeah. Sammy LaFleur says, hi, thanks for the show. Hey, thanks for being here with us. Don't forget, and this goes out to everybody, hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. It does help us out, and you get subscribed so that you get notifications for all the Wager Talk content, like Jennifer Yasinowski, who is with us on the End Zone Live on Sundays as well, and wants to know, what does the Blitz think of Hunt to score a TD? And Sammy, don't worry, I see you there, but the transition was just too good to pass up. We'll get to your question next.
Looks like we want Kareem Hunt. Looks like the Blitz is kind of in line with the market on it. Doesn't see a ton of plus 185. We were getting him at like plus 300 a couple weeks ago, I feel like.
Yeah, but you're playing Tennessee and you don't have Patrick Mahomes throwing the football anymore. I'm sure they're going to lean on the ground game more here.
Yeah. So, yeah, not a lot of value on him, I don't think.
Mm-hmm. So Sammy has a question we've gotten a few times. In the Blitz projections, when a play is a 5-star expected value, how much does that translate in plus EV? It's not really an ironclad number.
Right. Theoretically, it's around like a 20% theoretical ROI. But in practice, it doesn't usually wind up being that high just because of the variance and the nature of props, and just you have to account for some margin for error. That's why I don't, you won't see me on this show or in my own betting, like bet usually 1-star plays or 2-star plays, because they're just too close to being negative EV plays, where if there's a little bit off, that margin for error is just not there. So that's why I'll stick with like the 4s or the 5s or the 3s sometimes. Because even if it's not an actual 20% ROI, directionally, it's still going to be a profitable play in the long run.
Yeah, you couldn't have said it better myself, which is a shocker because this is your system, so makes sense. Going down the list here, everybody else, a whole bunch of people talking about how there are some Ewers lines available out there. Some stuff is still here, 179.5 for his passing yards, 17.5 completions, stuff like that. So some stuff to take a look at there. Loopy Snoopy wants to know, Blitz likes Aaron Rodgers INT this week. Score has 2 at 6-1 and 3 at 3,500. Do you want to ladder Aaron Rodgers INTs?
You can. I mean, I would imagine this is super correlated with the passing attempts play that we did, where if it likes his interceptions because it sees him having to throw the ball so much that he's just bound to throw an interception at some point. If you want to, hit the alts on it, I don't hate it at those odds.
Yeah. Again, you can only be so wrong in 35-1. I mean, obviously I'm not putting a full unit on the tail end of the ladder there, but hey, it could work, especially if it's plus EV like that. And sticking with those, Alex Messi wants to know, looked like there were some juicy INT props on the Blitz this week, just a volume of plays thing. Are you backing off the ROI on INTs at all? We haven't really given too many of those out lately, but doesn't mean that they're not value.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't been as valuable as I was expecting this year, so I'm not betting as many of them as I was, but mostly it's just a matter of, we had, I think, 13 plays this week, so can only talk about so many on here.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, definitely not something to back off of when you're seeing them working out for you there. Let's see what else here we've got. Garrett Price saying, do you think Rashard Smith gets more run for Kansas City?
Maybe. I mean, I assume the angle is they're out of playoff contention. Let's see if they let him, see what they have in the younger guy.
Rashee Rice
maybe
also
a little bit. Yeah, Rashee Rice probably going to be out this week. I wouldn't say it's impossible. I mean, we certainly could see that. I don't know though.
Yeah. Russian says, hey, any Jalen Hurts rushing props popping? That's definitely one that we talk about plenty.
Let's take a look, because they have been letting him run. They have been doing design run stuff for him. I think the markets have caught up a little bit on it, but yeah, so like there's some value on him, but probably not enough for me to go out of my way to bet it.
Yeah, It's one of those that like seems like it's a really good idea to be betting his overs, and then you realize you get into the game and you're like, wait, he doesn't actually run the ball that much.
Yeah, this year especially, he really has not. The last few games, he started to pick it up a little bit, but earlier in the year, they were running very little in terms of design runs for him.
Mm-hmm. Bruh KGB wants to know nothing from Minshew this week. I don't even know who you are. What is going on, Derek?
I'm surprised that there wasn't Minshew stuff popping up because that does seem like a very blitz type of play.
Seems like a slam dunk blitz play.
Well, it does. I mean, the lines are set pretty high, though. Like a lot of times with these bad quarterbacks, we're hitting like 16.5 or 17.5 completion lines. He's at 20.5, 21.5, 22.5 at some places. So that'll kind of explain it, I think. I think the lines are already set kind of high for him.
Yeah, it's tough because with these guys, we're always looking for those lines to be a little lower than they should be in the median, and we can take some nice overs there. But alas, not to be with Minshew Mania this week. But it looks like that is going to do it for questions here from the chat. Guys, thank you so much for being with us. If you have anything left that you wish to discuss, speak now or forever hold your peace. But in the meantime, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Again, thank you so much for being here with us. Check out all of the other awesome content that we have for you over on Wager Talk. And you know, we will be back here next week. Chad Martin has one last one in at the buzzer. He wants to know about those Phillip Rivers passing yards. Let's pull up old man Rivers for a second here.
How did we not talk about Phillip Rivers? So the only reason Phillip Rivers plays didn't make the cut was because I bet them earlier in the week somewhere else. So I didn't want to double up on them. But yeah, Phillip Rivers stuff projects really well. He's one of these guys where, okay, now we're seeing a 17.5 line, so we can get some value on it. Whereas Minshew was 20.5 with a very similar projection. Phillip Rivers, I will take his overs all day.
Yeah, we are going to be on the old man this week. It is going to be a fun ride here. The Colts are going too far with this, man. Riley Leonard's not healthy, and they're just Riley Leonard might be healthy, and they're just saying, hey, you know what?
Forget it. Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, my God. Imagine they win a playoff game with him at quarterback in the year 2025. Imagine this is the Phillip Rivers team that wins the Super Bowl.
I would lose it. That would be so amazing. Like, I can't even.
That would be the greatest. He comes back at the very end of the season in a complete surprise when he was a day from Hall of Fame eligibility and goes out and tacks a ring on the end.
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh, we can dream. Kate Carr says, hey, they're holding your feet to the fire, Derek. They're calling you out saying these viewers lines are available. We got to look at them.
Yeah. So it looks like for whatever reason, EV Analytics doesn't have the viewers line. So I have already put in a request to them to look at it. I can tell you that the blitz is projecting real quick. I think
Rice ruled out.
Who's ruled out?
Rashee Rice.
Yeah. As expected. That's rough though. For I have him on all my fantasy teams, so wish he was playing. But Ewers is projected for around 19 completions. So if the lines are like 16.5 right now, I think someone said, I would like some Ewers overs.
Yeah, not surprised at all that we'll be on Ewers overs. Should we look at if he was just ruled out? The blitz isn't going to be updated yet for any Kansas City.
I had him projected out already, so we can take a look.
Okay, cool.
Take a look at Worthy. Yeah, it looks like a little bit of value on him. We'll have to see with the news official now how quickly these lines move. But yeah, it looks like you're going to get some value on it potentially.
We shall see. All right. That is going to do it for us for real this time. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here with us. As always, you know the drill. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Like a friend, tell a friend. And how do Andres is going to beat us one more time here? Because I said we'd answer everything. We're answering everything with Rivers projection being that. Do we like Downs 3.5 at plus 105?
I do. Yes. Here you can see it on the screen if we still have it up.
Yep.
Again, it's another one that I thought about adding to the show, but it's just not widely available, so it didn't make our list. But pretty much all of the Indiana over stuff looks pretty good.
Andres, do not apologize. We are here to answer your questions. This is what we're here to do. And I love being we love doing the show. The longer we get to do it, the better. Absolutely fine with you beating the buzzer here. Do not apologize, man. We appreciate you being here. We appreciate you throwing us your questions. So thank you so much. And thank you so much to everyone. Seriously. If you have any last second questions, feel free again to throw them in at the buzzer here. Plan for next. Oh, good point. Next week, the schedule gets kind of weird because we have post-Christmas, don't we?
Oh, right. We will have to figure out what we're doing next week because there will be games. I haven't actually looked at the schedule next week, but I know there's some on Christmas, right? And then there's going to be – are there some the next day too?
I believe there's a game on the 26th. We're planning this live on the show, right? You know what?
So if the game conflicts with the show, let's say we'll probably move it up. If not, then we'll stick with the time.
Are you free Wednesday?
We're
live planning at this point. But I think it might make more sense because we've got the Christmas Day games Wednesday. 3 games on the 25th, then 2 games on Saturday, no games on Friday.
Okay. I mean, I would be free on Wednesday. Do you think?
Are there going to be enough lines? I mean, are there going to be enough lines out for the weekend games?
There might not be at that point yet.
Okay, well, with no games on the 26th, I don't know about you. 26th is fine for me. I'm not going anywhere for Christmas anyway, so I think we can do the normal time and be fine then.
All right, I think that works.
Yep. All right, Russians got us on this one. We will be back. Normal time, normal place, the 26th, Friday, noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern time. We will miss the Christmas Day games, but just for the sake of continuity with everything, we'll also the Christmas Day games. Oh boy, you see what the NFL was going for with that scheduling, and now they're just like, ooh, did not work out. All right. And then one last question here. Tommy D wants to know Ben Sinnott receptions. So we'll hit one more here and then head out. As Russian says, have a great Christmas. You guys too. Yeah. Wow. Next show. I hope you're all done with your Christmas shopping already. And if you're not, hopefully you're going to be getting them done with some extra winnings for your last minute Christmas shopping here.
Yeah, that would be nice. Looks like not a lot of value, some tiny bit on the over, but not enough for me to bet it probably.
Yep. All right. For real. That is going to do it for us here. Thank you guys so much. I hope you all have a wonderful, happy holidays, a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, whatever it is that you are celebrating this season. I hope it is a great one. And we will be back here with you, as always, Friday, December 26th at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. And until then, best of luck, everybody. And let's cash some tickets this weekend. We'll see y'all next time.